The number one reason people quit learning the piano as an adult is time. Time is the one resource we cannot get back. So if you can hack this issue, you'll be way on your way to learning piano and reaching your goals. That's exactly why this video is so important. It can make or break your dreams of finally sitting down at the piano and playing the songs you love, so that you don't become one of the many people who quit. In today's video, we're going to go over how you can show up at the piano every day, or almost every day, no matter how busy you are. Why showing up every day matters. Now let's talk about why it's so important to show up every day. It's not about how much time you spend during each session, it's about consistency. When you practice every day, or at least most days, you're helping your brain build muscle memory and reinforcing what you've learned. Your brain actually retains information better with small, consistent practice compared to one big, long session on a Sunday. Why? The brain operates by repetition. The more you repeat something, whether it's a scale, a chord progression, or melody, the stronger the neural connections become. Practicing every day helps your brain keep the information fresh. This makes it easier to recall and execute what you've learned, even when you're not thinking about it. And here's the cool part. Sometimes you might only have 10 minutes to practice, and you know what? That's still valuable. Those 10 minutes are like little deposits into your piano bank. And over time, they really add up. In fact, 10 minutes a day can make a huge impact. Sometimes I'll sit down for just 10 minutes and I'll figure something out or make a breakthrough that skyrockets my progress. It's amazing how much you can accomplish when you just get started, even if it's just for a short time. So let's do the math on this. If you practice for just 10 minutes every day, that adds up to 3,650 minutes a year. That's a lot of time spent at the piano, and it really adds up. Even though it might feel like a small investment each day, it compounds into huge progress over the course of a year. By showing up every day, you're creating muscle memory that will make your playing easier and faster. Those 10-minute sessions build up over time, and before you know it, you'll be playing with more confidence, accuracy, and speed without even realizing how far you've come. And I'm going to be real with you. Most piano students do not practice 3,650 minutes per year. I can promise you that as someone who has taught for well over a decade. Those students still make some progress. So I'm telling you, these little deposits would make a huge difference. You would be ahead of most people. But showing up to the piano every day, yeah, that's easier said than done. Building habits is really hard. Ever tried going to the gym more often? Everyone joins a gym in January, but by March, they're all gone. It's no different with piano. You've got the best intentions, but life happens. So what separates the people who show up consistently from the people who don't? It's about building a habit. We all have habits, right? You probably have a few yourself. You wake up, maybe you drink a cup of coffee immediately, or you brush your teeth before bed. That's a habit. It's automatic, and it doesn't take much thought or effort. What we're trying to do is build the habit of showing up to the piano, just like you show up to your coffee machine first thing in the morning. So how do we do that? Number one, set a time that you can show up to the piano every day. The first thing you need to do is set a time that works for you. It's gotta be non-negotiable. For most people, this is the morning. It's a time when you have fewer distractions and can start your day on a good note. If you have a busy schedule or a family, it's easy to let piano practice slide. But if you schedule it the same way you'd schedule any other important task, it becomes a habit that you'll show up for, no question. So try to wake up a little earlier if you're busy. This way, nobody can distract you and you'll definitely get it done. Number two, habit stacking. Tie it to something you already do. Now let's dive into habit stacking. This is a super powerful way to make sure you stick to your practice schedule. The idea is simple. Attach a new habit, in this case piano practice, to something you already do every day. It makes a new habit easier to remember because it's connected to something automatic in your routine. For example, think about what you do first thing in the morning. Maybe it's a cup of coffee, checking your phone, or brushing your teeth. These are already habits, right? Now all we're doing is stacking a new habit on top of that. So here's a few examples of habit stacking for your piano practice. After you make your morning coffee, practice for 10 minutes. The act of making coffee is already part of your routine, so add your piano practice immediately after. Your brain will start to associate the two actions and you'll be more likely to do both automatically. Or after lunch, practice for 10 minutes. Many people have a natural lull after eating. Use that time to clear your head with a short, focused piano session. Just stack it onto your lunch routine and suddenly you're practicing without even thinking about it. Or before you watch TV at night, practice for 10 minutes. If you're someone who likes to wind down with some TV, use that time to get in a quick practice session first. Set the intention that your practice comes first. Then reward yourself with TV after. The key to habit stacking is to choose a habit that's already automatic and easy to do, and then connect it with your new habit, piano practice. Over time, your brain will link the two habits together, making piano practice feel like a natural part of your routine. Number 3, put it in your calendar like an appointment. You wouldn't skip a doctor's appointment or a meeting with your boss, right? Well, treating your piano practice with the same level of commitment is crucial. Put it in your calendar, set reminders, and treat it as a non-negotiable part of your day. Now, I'll be real with you. This isn't just something I'm suggesting for you. I do this myself. Every week, I write out when I'm going to do pretty much everything. This includes meeting, work tasks, and yes, my piano practice. It might sound simple, but it's been a game changer for me. I run 2 businesses, and without time blocking like this, I'd be completely lost. This approach keeps me on track and ensures that I'm making time for the things I really care about. So if you're busy, like I am, this can really help you stay on top of your goals, whether it's piano practice or something else important. By scheduling it, you're setting yourself up for success. You're telling yourself that this time matters, and you'll treat it with the same importance as any other meeting or commitment. Over time, this consistency will build momentum, and before you know it, piano practice will be just another part of your routine. Number 4, reward yourself at the end of the week for showing up. Rewards are incredibly powerful when you're building a habit. They serve as positive reinforcement, which makes it more likely that you'll keep showing up every day. If you manage to practice every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes, make sure to reward yourself at the end of the week. Now, what does that reward look like for you? For me, it's all about experiences. I get excited about the idea of treating myself to something like a spa day or a relaxing weekend getaway. Those experiences are a reminder I'm working hard and deserve some time to recharge. Maybe for you, it's something smaller, like going for a nice meal, getting that special coffee you love, or even having a movie night with your favorite snacks. The key is to pick something that genuinely feels like a reward, something you'll look forward to after you've stuck to your practice. The goal here is to build positive associations with your piano practice. When you show up, you want to feel like you're moving towards something exciting or rewarding, and that keeps you motivated. Every time you reward yourself, you're telling your brain, hey, that was a great thing to do. Let's do it again. Don't let it just be a fleeting thought. Celebrate your consistency and the fact that you showed up. The act of celebrating, whether it's big or small, keeps the positive reinforcement flowing and helps you stay on track. The best part? Rewards don't have to be extravagant. It can be as simple as taking 10 minutes for yourself or something as grand as a weekend getaway. It's about recognizing your commitment and progress. Number 5, remove perfectionism. Celebrate the small wins. This one is huge. Perfectionism can really stunt your progress. As adults, we tend to have high expectations for ourselves, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if we don't get it perfect, then it's not worth doing. But let me tell you something important. Perfectionism isn't helping you. In fact, it's holding you back. So many adult learners expect themselves to nail it every time. Maybe you missed a practice session, or maybe you sat down to practice but didn't feel like you got as much done as you wanted. That's okay. You showed up, and that's already a win. Here's the deal. You don't need to be perfect to make progress. If you miss a day or don't feel like you made huge strides in a session, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human. Every practice session is a step forward, even if it doesn't go as planned. Sometimes the smallest effort, like showing up even when you're tired, is what makes the biggest difference. And speaking of making progress, if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed by all the pieces of learning piano, I've got something for you. I've put together a free training called How to Learn Piano Fast, Play Your Favorite Songs, and Enjoy the Journey. There's so many complicated methods to learning piano, so I created a free training that shows you exactly how to cut out the noise and get to playing songs you love from the beginning. Head to the link in the description to check it out. Number 6, start small. Starting small is the secret to making piano practice a consistent habit. If you dive in and try to practice for an hour every day right from the start, you're likely burnt out. Trust me, I've seen it happen time and time again. But when you start with just 10 minutes a day, it's much easier to stay consistent and build the habit over time. I have a student who shared this with our Piano Accelerator community. He said, I reached 80 days of daily practice. Now I'm ready to step it up from 10 to 20 minutes a day to 30 or more minutes a day and increase the focus. What's awesome about his journey is that he started small. He didn't pressure himself to do more than he could handle, but instead he consistently showed up for those 10 to 20 minutes a day. As the days passed, that practice turned into a solid habit, and now he's ready to challenge himself with longer practice sessions. The key here is building momentum. By starting small, you'll start to see improvements without feeling overwhelmed. When you make consistent small steps toward your goal, those steps add up quickly. You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make with just a little bit of practice each day. So don't feel like you need to do it all at once. Start small and let that habit grow naturally. Trust me, over time, those small daily sessions will lead to huge improvements. And before you know it, you'll be practicing 30 or more minutes a day without it feeling like a chore. Number 7. Create a dedicated practice space. One of the best tips I can give you is to create a dedicated practice space. Having a specific area where you can sit down and start playing immediately makes it so much easier to show up every day. It's like your little corner of peace and focus, somewhere you can escape to just enjoy the music. For me, I like to set the tone, pun intended, for my practice space. Sometimes I'll light a candle or maybe make a nice coffee or tea to sip on while I practice. It's those little rituals that turn into me time. And trust me, they make a big difference. It's not just about sitting down and practicing. It's about making the space feel inviting and relaxing so that when you sit down, you actually look forward to it. The vibe of the space matters. Creating a space that feels personal to you makes it feel less like a task and more like a place to unwind. If you're in a comfortable space that you enjoy, you're way more likely to make it a habit to show up there every day. The easier it is to access your piano, the more you'll be inclined to practice and actually enjoy it. Another key to staying consistent is tracking your progress. It might sound small, but having a record of what you've worked on each day keeps you accountable and motivated. Plus, it's incredible to look back and see how far you've come, even if it's just a small win each day. To help with tracking, you can use a practice log or a habit tracking app. A great option is the Soundbrenner app, which allows you to log your practice time, and it also integrates a vibrating metronome if you really want to step it up. The cool part about the Soundbrenner is it's not just an app, it's also a watch you can wear, making it easier to stay on track and integrate into your practice. The vibrating metronome feature is a game changer for staying in time while practicing. Tracking your progress, even if it's just logging your practice time, makes you more mindful of your journey and gives you that extra boost when you can see how much you've accomplished. Number 9. Make it enjoyable and keep it fresh. Let's be real, you won't show up every day if you hate practicing. That's why it's important to make piano practice fun and something you enjoy. If you only practice dry scales or exercises, it's easy to burn out. You've got to mix things up to keep things interesting. Make sure you're practicing the songs you love. If you're playing something that excites you, it will feel less like a chore and more like something you're eager to do. I always recommend learning songs that you really enjoy, whether it's a favorite pop song, a classical piece, or even trying some improv. The bottom line, make it fun. If you enjoy your practice time, you'll look forward to it and be way more likely to stick with it. When piano practice feels like a reward rather than a task, it becomes a habit you won't want to break. The key to being consistent the most at the piano is to have a roadmap with clear steps to follow. That's why I created my free training called How to Learn Piano Fast, Play Your Favorite Songs, and Enjoy the Journey. In that training, I'll show you exactly what to learn in order to accelerate your progress. Check it out on demand at the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.